Well, thank you for having me here to start with. My name is Tomasz Luniewski. I'm the CEO and founder of company Capvidia. We are actually started a long time ago, more than 25 years ago. And we started from CAD data interoperability. During last 6 years, we shift actually our activities to model-based definition. And we focused all our applications to support people making a transition from traditional way of working with the engineering information to the Industry 4.0 pedigree. So basically, it is our business today. And I have to say we've been very successful with that during last 3 years. It is probably to be attributed to the fact that market is getting more and more matured, and people understand better and better the value of MBD when the concept is to reuse your existing data, reuse your 3D models, and benefit from that, and use it as a competitive advantage. Well, actually, our history with cooperation with Spatial goes long time ago. Well, we started probably 15 years ago, and basically we started from the CAD interoperability. We, as a company, well, specializing in the CAD data translation, we developed some support of some CAD data formats which were open standards like IGES, like STEP, and a lot of others. Spatial was giving us the interop and the interop suite, allowing us to access the native CAD data. So we started from very early beginning when still we were licensing different separate modules for different CAD systems, and then we switched over to the suite, which was, I think, a very, very good step because we could support more of different CAD data formats. I think the major benefit is that we could have access to the CAD data translators, to the native CAD data, and I think the big benefit is related to the CATIA translator because, well, Spatial being a part of Dassault Systems is licensing and has always been actually licensing a CATIA translator in a little bit different way than it is done technically for other translators. Basically, CATIA translator consists of the modules which are used in a native CATIA. So the quality of that is much higher. The quality for us is a very important issue because we've been focusing not only on just CAD data translation, but precise data translation, as this data is supposed to be used in a downstream applications like manufacturing, like metrology processes, and so on and so on. So making this conversion in a correct way, it's really essential thing. Well, we were not really, falling back on the help of Spatial in integration because, well, we have pretty strong development team. And but of course, there was a lot of interaction, a lot of discussions, a lot of help in the respect how to do certain things. Well, in the past, we were even discussing some cooperation that we would be doing part of a development which Spatial could benefit. And, we are, of course, were benefiting from that, what Spatial was doing. That was related to the Parasolid support, because Parasolid is such a format that, well, it's basically a standard which is open, but not to the end. So it has some some features which are difficult to deal with. Well, there were some discussions on, cooperation and even exchanging the technology, but that has never happened, let's say, commercially. But we had a lot of good interaction and a good cooperation with people, with the development team of Spatial. Well, I think that, there were, at that time when we were making the choice for CAD data translator, there were not too many options. The options which were on the market, they were not qualifying from our perspective to meet the high quality of data translations. As I mentioned, for example, the CATIA translator from Spatial is unique because it's based on the same libraries as they are used in CATIA. So that guarantees a high quality of a translation. The other aspect, which, well, now it's very important, is actually support of PMI. Because in the MBD business, which is our focus today, well, PMI is essential because, well, you have to deal with the, MBD models, model-based definition models, which are complete. So they are not consisting just of geometry, which is relatively easy to translate, but it has to, they need to have a correctly defined PMI. So the PMI has to be of a semantic PMI, not just graphical PMI, because the objective is to use this PMI for automation of the processes. So the requirement is that you have machine-readable data. So graphical PMI is not a solution. Well, I think that the industry is now drastically changing, and this is, accelerated change. I think that the situation which we had with the COVID last 2 years made people think, because they start to realize that, we are very vulnerable. I mean, when our people are not there, we cannot do anything. So actually, that, I think, had an impact in changing the way of thinking that automation is extremely important, because if I can automatize my processes, well, I become less dependent on presence of human and their judgment, their skills, and so on and so on. So we see a very quick change and adoption of those new concepts as people start to realize more and more value of that.
Thank you very much.
Well, you are most welcome. Thank you.